You rock. This means you're great. Thank you for watching my cats while I went on vacation. You rock. Number 2, the calm before the storm. Under the weather. This means you feel a little bit sick. You might say, I wish I could go apple picking with you, but I feel a bit under the weather today. When it rains, it pours. This means that when bad things happen, they happen all at the same time. Every cloud has a silver lining. This means that there is something good in every bad situation. To go with the flow. And this means that you're able to adapt to whatever happens. Down to earth. Tip of the iceberg. This is something small that's part of something bigger, and it's usually something negative. Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud means that you are stopping some bad behavior right when it starts. Beat around the bush. This is to speak indirectly without getting to the main point. Sometimes we do this if we are uncomfortable, if we're talking about something that's a little bit difficult to talk about, or maybe something we don't. To go cold turkey. And this means to quit something completely. Go on a wild goose chase. Crying wolf. To lie so many times about something that people stop believing you. To bring home the bacon. Are you actually bringing bacon home? No. This just means money. It means that you are the financial supporter of your family. You are making money. 2 peas in a pod. This refers to 2 people who have a perfect little relationship. It's usually kind of a cute relationship, often with kids or with a couple that's really cute. Butter me up. This is to flatter someone in order to get something. If your child suddenly comes to you and says that you look beautiful, beware. They are probably trying to butter you up to get some money or to get a favor. Spill the beans, to tell a secret. When I was pregnant with my first son, we didn't spill the beans that I was pregnant for the first couple months. Spice things up. This means that you're doing something differently in order for it to be more interesting and exciting. And our first one is to lose your touch. This means that you're losing something that you had a skill or a talent for. If you don't speak English for months, you will lose your touch. So try to practice every day. Rule of thumb. Thumb. A rule of thumb. This is a general rule or guideline. The key word here is general. It's just a general rule. By the skin of my teeth. This is meaning to barely make it. You barely survived. To get something off your chest. This means to talk about something that's bothering you. Put your foot in your mouth. This means to say something you shouldn't have said. Bite the bullet. A bullet is something very hard. It's something that comes out of a gun. It doesn't seem like a fun activity, right? To bite a bullet. Well, that's what this idiom means. It means to stop procrastinating and do something difficult. Get out of hand. To lose control. A classroom of 23-year-old children can quickly get out of hand, as you might imagine. Wrap your head around something. This is to understand something complicated. We usually use this in negative sentences, though. I can't wrap my head around something. To play something by ear. This means you're not making definite plans. A blessing in disguise. This is something good that seemed bad at first. So like we just talked about previously with COVID lockdowns, there's a silver lining. This has a similar idea here. It is to break the bank. When you break the bank, it means that there is something really expensive. Give you a run for your money. This is talking about a challenge. Up the ante. Or we could say this final word, ante. Sometimes we cut off the T. To up the ante or to up the ante. This cut someone some slack. This means that you don't judge someone too harshly. Draw a line or draw the line. These are used interchangeably, and that means that you know the difference between something that's okay and not okay, something that's acceptable or not acceptable. Play devil's advocate. Here you are arguing the opposite point just for the fun of it, just for the purpose of debate. Go the extra mile. This means that you are doing something above and beyond what is expected. Make a long story short. This is to tell a long story briefly in just a couple words. Jump on that bandwagon. This is to do a trend just because everyone else is doing it. On the ball, to be prepared for something. My house is often messy, the sink is full of dishes, but in my professional life, I am almost always on the ball. 24/7, all the time. Something that happens constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 24/7. Easier said than done. This is something that better late than never.